Hey everybody, welcome. Happy hump day. Appreciate everybody being here. And I have a completely new setup today. I rearranged everything, so I'm hoping that things go off pretty well. I'm already having some issues. I can with the green screen, I can see it right now. So it is what it is. I'll try not to get too distracted by all of that. Obviously, I've got some kinks to work out. Appreciate everybody who's kind of piling in here. I know Piper is sending over the Academy. Appreciate all of you kind of jumping in. And though Joe, originally I thought Joe was going to be here this morning, but I guess there was a change again in his schedule, and he didn't let me know that until like very late, or well, not very late for me because I'm old, so I go to bed early. But anyway, late for me last night. So you got me today, no Joe, and I've got a lot of stuff we're going to go over today. I really appreciate everybody being here. So you know the drill. Make sure you smash up that like button. Share this out. If you're on X, appreciate you. Don't forget to share this thing out. Trying to grow things here. We got a lot of stuff to go over today, and we're going to go give the chat a shout out shortly. But we're going to take a look at a few things just to give you an idea as to what's coming up. We're going to talk about Jack Dorsey rolling out Bitcoin payments with Square. We're going to take a look at the latest quantitative easing video. I thought that was pretty interesting. We're going to talk about SoFi going ahead and being able to allow people to go ahead and trade within their bank account and purchase crypto, only a limited amount, but we'll get into that as we get a little bit further into the stream here. And of course, we're going to be talking about some integrations of Polymarket and Kalshi, and yeah, even a little bit of malware stuff. And at the end, the McRib. I started talking about it last night with Crypto Jar on the Matrix Money podcast. I thought it was a good way to round things out. I know many of you have probably already seen it, but I thought it'd be a little bit of fun. I put a poll up. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and answer that poll, asking basically, do you think that the relaunch here, it's that time of year for relaunching the McRib, is that going to affect the Bitcoin price? So go ahead, take that poll. I'll be interested to see what the results of that are. There we go. We'll put the chat up here, and we'll go ahead and say hi to everybody. Hey, Melissa, good vibes. Appreciate you being here, Melissa. Thank you very much. Army Piper in the house. Thank you, sir, very much for sending everybody over here. Appreciate everything that you do, by the way. And here we go. Yes, Melissa. Yeah. And look at this. She's getting that Nightbot going straight off the cuff. And Dave Digital in the house. Appreciate you being here, Dave Digital. And you guys already know, if you're coming over from Piper Academy, I'm going to guess you're already checking in to Dave Digital's Simple Terms podcast, 9 a.m. on Saturdays. If you're not, what are you waiting for, man? What are you waiting for? Just saying. JR in the house dropping those graduation caps. Appreciate you being here. K Diggity. When the McRib emoji. Maybe. I think I have one more emoji left to add in here. Maybe that's what it'll be. Or at least a temporary one for now. Oh man. And yeah, JR is saying good morning to myself and Joe. Again, trade intuition, last minute change in schedule. He's not going to be here today, so just sit tight, and I'm going to do my very best to educate you. And there we go. Alexandra G, Mod Queen Extraordinaire. If you're a channel member, drop those Mod Queen emojis in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here. I like your background. Totally lame. You know what? I appreciate that, but I can't even take credit for what you're seeing here. See, there goes the green screen. There we go. Anyway, I can't take credit for that. It's BC Port Corp. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten far enough down in the chat to see if he's here. I know he was on Piper Academy, but he used his AI skills and go ahead and put that together, and I like it. I've been using it since he put that together. So yeah, and yes, perfect. Alexandra G all over it. There you go. Simple Terms. There you go. Simple Terms podcast. And let's see, who am I missing? Anybody? No, I think we're good. Excellent. So let's get into business. So Jack Dorsey. I mean, we've actually talked about this on this show before, but here we go. We got the rollout of the Square's payments. for accepting Bitcoin across the US. Right now, I believe this is just US only with regard to this. Now, I found this interesting, and part of the reason I mentioned it last night during the Matrix Money podcast with Jar was because next Tuesday night, Jar and I will have Dr. David Corzan on. I met him at the Free State Bitcoin Digital Asset Conference actually over a year ago. And when I caught back up with him again this year, I was talking to him about how it was going accepting Bitcoin and crypto payments into his chiropractic business. And honestly, it was a bit of a challenge from what he was telling me, but he's going to come on. He's going to explain that. We're going to see if we can help him out with some options during that stream. But I thought that this was a potential option for him. And that's why we brought that up last night, and part of why I bring it up this morning. I don't know if any of you out there, and especially if you're watching this on the replay, it may be an option if you've got a brick and mortar business and you're looking to get yourself a little bit of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular here with regard to that. The McRib emoji, yes, maybe. K Diggity, maybe we'll see how that goes. Don't forget, take that poll. If you're on X, I'm sorry, I didn't even think to put it on X because I can't connect it to the stream there. But anyway, appreciate it. Yeah, Dave Digital. Dave, please, super supporter of this channel, by the way, Dave Digital, and all of the Billy Goat Tales team. But Dave, always appreciate you, man. All right, let's keep going. I told you I like when they put out these commercials, quite frankly. I really do. And so this one is about 2 minutes long, and I think it's worth the watch for everybody that's currently here. Everything they're going to talk about is not necessarily news to you. I'm using my air quotes there, news to you. But here's the thing. We need to continue to educate people outside of this space. Sometimes we're talking in an echo chamber, or at least it seems like we are talking in an echo chamber. And that's why I always ask you guys to like this thing and share it out. And especially X has been growing tremendously. But we need to get more and more people coming and getting this information and changing or learning what they need to know to understand the current system, how it affects them, and beyond that, what they can do to make things better for themselves and their family as we move forward. So let me get rid of the comments there, and we'll play this, and then we'll come back and I will chat. Feel free to give me your impressions in the chat. I'm interested to see what you think about this.
I hate it when prices go up. I think it's theft. What you mean theft? Inflation is stealing the fruits of your labor.
Inflation?
When they print more money, the price of everything goes up because it's easy to print, but hard to produce the goods.
Fact.
Thought they said it was greedy corporations.
Liars. It's the Fed. They're the ones robbing the value out of folks' money. It ain't the businesses, Larry. They're raising prices just to keep even. Thieving scoundrels.
See, if money were honest, it would hold its worth.
Look how this dozer does the work of 600 men with shovels and horses.
Right.
Took near 6 months to move 20,000 yards.
By hand.
But year by year, we keep making our machines more efficient, more productive, and we keep finding ways to get more done for less. The work of 600 men is done now by a single dozer, Larry.
That's hard to believe.
It's a force multiplier like nothing we've ever seen. Frees men up to do more and be more productive. It's what ought to make things cheaper too. When we work smarter, when tools get efficient, prices should fall. And that's called deflation. Competition pushes us to improve. One man makes a breakthrough, then another fella comes along and makes it efficient. When a man figures a more efficient way, he brings the price down. It's the gift of folks doing their very best, Larry, making life better and less expensive for everyone around.
Yeah,
then by all reason, why ain't prices falling, Hank?
Exactly. Larry, the Federal Reserve is just a pack of thieving vermin.
I love how they
call
get the rats.
Quantitative easing.
They swiped the gains from all us, folks.
Reckon that's why we need sound money.
We need to quit letting men who don't produce anything steal all the gains from those who do.
It's high time we stop it. We got to do it for our grandkids, Larry, or it's going to put them in quite a pickle.
Facts.
Think we'll ever get this mess fixed? Folks are starting to wake up. I reckon the ones saving in Bitcoin are onto something, and they can't steal their Bitcoin. So the price of everything's already dropping for them. There's no stopping it, Larry. I reckon we're going to win.
Yeah, if money was honest, prices would fall, and that's a fact. It's not something we're used to, man. It's just not. We listen to these people who subscribe to MMT, and they're, if you don't understand that they're basically stealing money from us, that deflationary action that should be happening as tech grows. I mean, geez, imagine what AI should be doing, or in theory could be doing with regard to lowering of costs. Now, take aside, the fact of AI taking jobs, this, that, and the other thing. It's just the next wave of things, and a pivot for us need to be made, and so on. But again, not looking to get down that AI conversation. The fact of the matter is, things should be getting cheaper just from the fact of the way technology progresses. That's not happening because they're stealing it ahead of time. Again, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I appreciate you helping me share this out. We got to get that kind of information out to everybody that doesn't even understand how this system works. And that's part of why I love sharing this kind of stuff here and making the little clips that I do and putting that out to try and get that out to more and more people. Here's the other thing. We're going to be talking, I'm sure, a bunch about this in regard to education, Crypto Billy and I, on the 22nd. It's a Saturday, 11 a.m. We're going to be doing a Q&A session, a question and answer session. Now, it's geared primarily for seniors who are looking to talk more about crypto, learn more about crypto. And I mean, right now, they are the largest growing demographic coming into this space. But the information that's going to be passed there is going to be good for everybody, let's be honest, especially people who don't understand crypto, who don't understand the money system, who need to get the very basic information in order to get here and into the system. And there we go. Preach. Yeah, I will. I'm preaching, man. I'm preaching. And you thanks, Melissa. Appreciate you. Anyway, so be watching for that. I've already started really promoting that. If you know a senior, so 55 plus type individual who might be looking to learn a little bit more about crypto, you know what to do. Send them my way, and myself and Crypto Billy are going to try and answer their questions live on stream as much as possible. And I'm sure there'll be a number of you in that stream, in the live chat, that will also be looking to help, because we have the greatest community here. I appreciate all of you. So thank you in advance for that. So now, normally, this is where Joe would come in and take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Again, for those who might be just coming in a little bit later, Joe told me what was late for me, because again, I turned into a pumpkin after 9 p.m. Anyway, that he was going to be unable to make the stream today. So I apologize. Wasn't trying to clickbait anybody into coming in here expecting to see T.I. Joe, but he'll be back. I'm pretty sure on Monday, so stay tuned for that. So I am going to just again, not the TA guy here, but I want to just take a look at what I see here a little bit. So on the trading view chart here, this is the daily on Bitcoin. And I mean, since I kind of timed in here and signed in and started kind of checking things out on this chart, when I first started, Bitcoin was hovering in that 104. You can see the price over here on the lower, on the lower right side, basically now down to 101. But you can see that we are in an area right here. You can kind of see in this 103, 100 to 103 area that there's a little bit of confluence here. There's a little bit of support that we are, quite frankly, got to hold before Bitcoin drops. Now, if again, looking at it, I'm going to look at it on the 4-hour chart in a minute, just to kind of bring it and zoom it in a little bit. But if we go back down, the next area, in my opinion, of any kind of support here is down in this like 85K range. So if we break through, we may be looking to go down there. Now, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy, interwebs. Matter of fact, I should probably bring that up, and not for nothing. I'm waiting for somebody to make Nightbot say it. But anyway, so that's what I'm looking for. Let me just swap this over real quick. To 4 hours, and kind of zooming on in here a little bit. Okay. So again, you can kind of see, again, hovering in that 101 category. And I'm telling you, I think personally, just to kind of put a point on it, I think it's looking a bit weak. I think we're going down. I would like to hope that some of the liquidity that's sitting in the 98K range will go ahead and suck up the pressure as it's dropping. But if not, I think we could be seeing things go much, much lower. Again, if you're trading on anything I just said, shame on you. Shame on you. Do your own research, man, not financial advice. I know Dave would. I just saw Dave Digital's comment. That's what made me say Dave. I know Joe would have a much better explanation, and he'd be showing you a lot more about that. And normally we'd be heading over to his stream. And there you go. And it's to Dave Digital's comment. I love it. I got you. Here's the Bitcoin technical analysis. Prepare to go lower. Yeah, it's looking very weak to me as well. I think we're going lower. The question, of course, is how much lower. And well, it is what it is. I think we're going to that 80K range is definitely not out of the realm of possibility, if you ask me. Okay, let's keep going. For those who might be just tuning in, again, Joe not here this morning. We're gonna get to Joe a little, or hopefully Joe will be here for Monday's stream when we come back live Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna be talking about some things from the EU. Every time I turn around, things going on in the EU just look worse and worse. We're going to talk about BitDeer and how they put in some lower quarter pricing in their stocks. We're going to just all kinds of things. Don't forget, we're going to be talking a little bit about the government not reopening, because I was saying it last night during the Matrix Money podcast when I was saying things are moving over to the House, and I just didn't see this thing clearing without any hurdles. And Piper did a great job about going over some of those hurdles this morning. Our government sucks, and our politicians suck, both sides of the aisle. So it is what it is. Okay. Woosah. I don't have Joe here to calm me down and have his little sign in the background about my blood pressure. Anyway, Automatic Beats jumping on in here. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. And all right, let's keep going on. Okay, I saw this, and again, I'm old, so this kind of hit it for me. I know this isn't the United States, but I'm sure this will be coming to a country near you. Happening now, Germany raising its retirement age to 70. Well, why do they got to do that? You guys over here know why they got to do that. And guess what? It's going to be happening all across the world with regard to the retirement age. Now, I like the fact that he points out, they'll say it's because people are living longer, but the truth is much simpler. The system just can't keep up. And then they go into, get Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. But completely right. It's the system. We all know that. And yes, Bitcoin is a possible option. I'm not going to crap on gold, silver, etc. either. You should be diversified. But the fact that they are going to raise the retirement age, I mean, the closer I get to retirement, using my air quotes there, it's like the further they move the goalpost. And I get it. I get this is Germany. I understand, not the US. But again, yeah, here we go. There it is. Facts. Waiting for the it usually gives a percentage. That's hilarious, I think, in my humble opinion. All right, let's keep moving along here on some of this news. And if I hit the right button, it'll actually come up on the screen so you can sit here and watch it. Watch me go through it here. So here we go. BitDeer stocks tumble as Bitcoin miner posts third quarter net losses. I'm going to read through this a little bit and then kind of recap a little bit of the conversation that I had with Jar, because Jar had some opinions on this last night. Shout out to him. Link to his channel in the description. Make sure you're following him as well. But you know what? Let's just go here. Bitcoin miner BitDeer Tech Group saw its stock close down 20% on Monday after the company reported a net loss of $266.7 million for its third quarter. Wow. That's a 422% decline over the previous year. And they go into the breakdown here of what the share price was, how much it was down, so on and so forth. But I'll tell you what. The company's price, according to this, was relatively flat over the same period, but holding up better than competitors. And now this is where Jar and I got into the conversation a little bit last night that, okay, mining right now, tough at best. I mean, and that's probably a very positive way to actually actually talk about the mining space at this point. It is a tough area, profitability very difficult, especially if you have the higher electricity costs. I think that is part of the reason that we're seeing some of these mining companies, in this particular case, BitDeer, and I don't know, after having them talk a little bit on the Matrix Money podcast from Mining Disrupt, what was that, about a year ago, I guess. I don't know. I'm not necessarily a fan of BitDeer, but whatever. That doesn't matter. I think it is indicative of a more systemic issue with regard to the mining industry as a whole being unprofitable. And Automatics Beats chiming in here with, unless you're mining ZEC. And yeah, Zcash has seen a hell of a pump, no argument. But right now doing a bit of a pullback, although, like I said, it's not, well, I don't know the actual profitability numbers, but I got to believe that ZEC is probably still in that profitability range. All right, let's move on a little bit right here. And I love this. And Army Piper, again, talked a little bit about this on his stream this morning. Right here. Now there's a 90, and this is from Polymarket, okay? 95% chance that the government reopens by the end of this week. What do you think about that? I don't know. If they're going to keep throwing all this bullshit and additions onto this bill to just reopen the government. And Piper got on a tangent earlier today, and boy, I was you know how Melissa put in the chat, preach earlier? Well, that's what I was like screaming at the screen, basically saying the same thing, like, preach, brother, preach, because our government officials are just off the frickin' deep end with regard to what they're doing with regard to these bills. Their focus at this point should be get this frickin' government reopened, and enough is enough, and handle each bill as what it's supposed to be. You guys remember back during the elections, the end of last year, I was following John Deaton, who was running against Elizabeth Warren for the Senate seat in Massachusetts. And he was on and preaching about single issue bills. And boy, is that what it should be. Is that what it should be? It isn't, sadly, but it is what it should be. And until we get back, well, back to that, it probably hasn't been single issue bills in forever ago with regard to our government. But until we get to that, we're going to continue to have this kind of bullshit happening where you've got these add-ons to these bills that have absolutely nothing, in this case, to do with reopening the government. Nothing at all. Okay. You can see I was agreeing with Piper. So if Piper, you're still here, shout out to you, man. Okay. And Automatic Beat saying Zech still profitable, making $18 a day on 10 cents. Nice. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Good for you. Single issue bills need to be, yes. Yeah. Instead of like make America great again, make single issue bills great again. It really needs to be something that happens. K Diggity, spot on, man. And until our government does that, we're just going to continue to have this bullshit going on in DC. Like Daniel Diaz loves to come on and say, you know, you don't want to know how sausage is made and how government moves bills through. Yeah, facts, man, facts. Anyway, okay, so Piper mentioned this. I was like, damn it, Piper, I wanted to mention this. No, I'm kidding. I mean, get the word out. And it's sad. It's really sad. And fact of the matter is, I know a lot of people in this position. Talk to them all the time. Searches, so Google searches basically for a second job hitting a new all-time high. 34% chance of recession by 2026. And right here, you can see the analytics here from how it's just slowly climbing and climbing and climbing. And it doesn't surprise me because guess what? Things are just hard as hell here trying to keep up with the income. And that's part of why, again, for those who are able to do so, Piper Plan, man, link in the description. Make sure you go and check that out, his dynamic DCA plan. But part of why that indicator for people needing second jobs because they're looking to just survive, put a meal on the table, whatever the case may be, stop from, basically having to worry about being out on the street, whatever the case may be, but they're still trying to do what they need to do in order to survive. I show just a regular DCA, $25 a week, pull it together. And there's a lot of people, and I'm going to guess probably a lot more people in the position of not being able to afford that. And we need to get that word out. And man, appreciate you guys helping me to do that. Again, this community is the best. Steve, appreciate you being here. Bingo and a bango. Yeah, bingo and a bango. Joe's last minute schedule change. Not going to be here this morning. So Steve, you're going to have to go and watch the replay on this because you got to see what stupid simple TA CCM can do. Well, again, I'm not that guy, but it's probably funny. We'll see how close I am to being right about things about to go down. Anywho, we're going to keep moving this thing along here. So what do you think about this? Brazil Central Bank basically has told all crypto service providers, you need to get authorization from us before you can start operating in Brazil. Now, this rule takes effect, as it says here, in February of 2026, and they give a grace period, obviously, for those who are already operating. Appreciate it, Steve. And I'm sorry. We're seeing more and more of it, and we're about to go through a bunch of crap from the EU. And you guys, if you've watched a lot of the clips I've done lately, I've been kind of shitting on them with regard to the way I can't even understand what the hell is going on over there in the EU. It's just insanity. But now we are looking here at Brazil in this case, again, central bank clamping down on, come here, get permission from us, and then you can do that. Now, speaking of the EU, I'm just going to transition right over here. And I love how they put this is very concerning. But anyway, the EU just banned cash payments over 10,000 euro and will require an ID for every Bitcoin transaction starting in 2027. Man, again, what's going on in the EU? Who the holy hell knows? I know it is not something. I'm so glad I don't live there at this point. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, guys. I need to grab me a drink here real quick. Wet my whistle because I know that the voice is going to go pretty damn soon. But again, that's not the only thing with regard to the EU. So yeah, that's funny because this week on Simple Terms, we break down the clarity. There you go. Simple Terms podcast, 9 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday mornings. And if you don't catch it live, I mean, come on, you can check out that replay because here's the thing. I love that podcast. One, because again, it puts things in like layman's terms. AI does pretty much a great job of doing that. But when it does start to kind of get a little bit technical, Dave jumps right on in there with questions that, man, even if you're not, because a lot of times I'm driving and listening, so it's not like I can be in the chat all the time either. But like people that may not have the ability or the time or watching it on the replay to put in a question to break it down, Dave is right there popping that next question in there and trying to get the AI to break it down further. So make sure you're tuning in this Saturday if you want to learn more about the Clarity Act. But zipping back across the pond, as they say, and heading over and back to the EU is blocking their citizens from viewing this Ledger blog post, which basically explains multi-sig wallets. Because what do they got coming? You can't self-custody crap pretty soon in the EU. And with you going to have to KYC to move it from whatever exchange or platform it is that you're using over into your own wallet if you're going to take self-custody of that. But you've KYC'd at this particular place. So guess what? Now they know, okay, here's that wallet. And so it becomes very much more trackable. And now let's put a point on what's going on in the EU. You got the government right here basically saying, think before you post, because guess what? They're coming to lock you up if you don't. I like this guy's response to that. F you. Great. Perfect. I agree. But like, my God, what is going on over there? I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. It is not. Okay. Anyway, not to get down that road. I do know I have people over here from the EU that come, and yet whether you're not or you're live in the chat right now, if you are, by all means, throw some input into the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, put it in the comments. I read all the comments and I try to reply to all the comments as well. All right. So now here we are. Piper talked about this, did an entire breakdown of this. I'm actually going to go read the breakdown from Crypto in America with regard to this. But basically, the Senate AG committee releases the crypto market structure draft bill. Now, this thing is very cut back, and I think Crypto in America does a great job. What did I just do? Good Lord. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to drive and I'm obviously doing a poor job, piss poor job. Anyway, there you go. You got to see me. Anyway, so I'm going to read through this because I like the way she breaks this down. Again, links in the description. If you're not already following Eleanor Tourette and Crypto in America, you really should be. This is from her recent newsletter with regard to this. Industry wants more clarity on the Senate AG market structure draft. Basically what she says is the AG committee basically has released their draft. It happened on Monday, basically saying that industry leaders basically saying that they need more stuff, more clarity before they can support it. Now, it's a bipartisan bill being led by Boozman and Cory Booker with regard, so both sides of the aisle. Basically, this is following, as she puts here, months of negotiations, because this has been in the works for a while, right? And I know they're trying to get it out before the end of the year here. But borrowing heavily from the House's Clarity Act. Again, Simple Terms Podcast, Sunday, 9 a.m. Go get the proverbial skinny. The text establishes a definition of the digital commodity while going further on customer protection, CFTC oversight, and self-custody. Again, a lot of these crypto assets are going to be put under the purview of the CFTC. Still, much of the blockchain-related language remains in brackets. So in other words, it's not complete yet, because basically they're waiting for the banking committee to pull together information about the Blockchain Certainty Act. And we're going to mention that a little bit further. But right here, the bill is a good start, but still has a long way to go before the industry can support it, said a Crypto Trade Association. And DeFi education executive Amanda Tuminelli, butchered that. I think I'd get that right. I'm Italian, right? Anyway, says she's hopeful the language on DeFi will arguably be more complex, and the structure bill will have be a source of significant friction that still needs to be resolved. We're hoping that this section left open by the DeFi bill will be filled by a robust developer protections that clearly distinguish centralized intermediaries from software developers. That's hugely important. We all know that here in this space, without custody and control of other people's money. Again, links to all of this in the description. I don't want to read through this. It's actually a pretty lengthy newsletter, so go ahead and check on that. And Techman, I see you in the house saying McDonald's is the devil. Don't forget, I'm gonna take up the McRib article toward the end, just to kind of round out on a happier note here. But if you haven't already voted on that on the poll coming on in here, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and do that. I can't wait to see. All right, let's keep moving on along here, and we're going to be wrapping up in about another 10 or 15 minutes here. U.S. clears the way for crypto ETPs to get yield without triggering tax problems. Wouldn't that be nice, right? I mean, taxes still convoluted. We've had a bunch of good moves in the right direction with some letters and clarifying language from the IRS and so on. We need more, obviously, but anyway, a new safe harbor announced. The U.S. Wow, man, the IRS on Monday is seeing a major step forward to allowing crypto exchange traded products, so ETPs or ETFs that we talk about, to share staking rewards with their investors. And I hate when it brings this video down here and covers everything up. Under certain conditions, new guidance allows trusts to stake their digital assets without jeopardizing their tax status as investment trusts and grantor trusts for the federal income tax purposes. And that's all according to the IRS. Under proof of stake consensus mechanisms, network participants stake some of their cryptos, such as Ethereum, it lists here, and get a return for that. We all know that, right? Proof of stake. And they go on to talk about this, and Scott Bessent says, this increases investor benefits, boosts innovation, and keeps America the global leader in digital assets and blockchain technology, basically echoing the sentiment of Donald Trump, which, I mean, that makes sense because, again, that's your boss, dude. But so I'm glad to see that this is coming. I'm glad to see that they're still moving forward with regard to trying to clarify this for tax purposes, because at the end of the day, doing crypto taxes is a pain in the ass. You make sure you get a tax professional, that is not me, to help you with that. There are plenty of people probably just in your local area who are able to handle your taxes effectively if you deal in crypto. And if you're here, you probably do. Oh man, gotta wet that whistle. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that bit of grace. All right. So this is something I talked about way back in the beginning, and let's get into the details here. Nationally chartered bank SoFi launches crypto trading for consumers. Basically, the quick take of things, and then we're going to go to the actual interview recently on CNBC. SoFi has launched its SoFi Crypto to offer crypto trading to customers, the first directly integrated crypto offering under its national bank charter. Members will be able to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies. And right now, it's just these three, although you'll hear in that interview that they are obviously looking to expand. Right now, this is to include Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So again, big news with regard to that, but let's come on over here and listen to this live. It's just about 2 minutes long, and you can listen to the SoFi CEO talking about this.
Nice to see you, sir, in person.
Good to see you as well.
Okay, so what's going on here? This is a big deal.
Yeah, this morning,
big deal for you.
It is a very big deal. It's a big day and a big milestone. Reverses the course of time.
It does.
We've wanted to be a one-stop shop for all your financial services needs, and one of the holes we've had for the last 2 years was in cryptocurrency, the ability to buy, sell, and hold crypto. We were not allowed to do that as a bank. It was not permissible. But in March of this year, the OCC came out with an interpretive letter that it's now permissible for banks like SoFi to offer cryptocurrencies. So this morning we're launching as the only national bank, the first and only national bank, the opportunity to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana.
So I was going to ask, are we just talking about 3 for now?
We'll expand well beyond 3. It'll be a pretty broad assortment. We try to differentiate on being fast, having broad selection, great prices, ease of use. So we'll try to give members, SoFi members, as much selection as they would like.
And what's the difference between going through you and going through Coinbase or going through Robinhood or somebody else?
Yeah, there's a couple of really big differences. First, we're a nationally chartered bank, which means we have the infrastructure, the processes, the financial conditions that provides the safeguards that a consumer would expect from a bank, which is going to allow us to scale responsibly. The second thing is because we are a one-stop shop, you can do all your banking, checking, and savings at SoFi, your borrowing, and your investing, and now crypto. And one of the unique things about that is when you come to SoFi and fund your crypto investments, you'll fund them in a SoFi checking and savings account. That checking and savings account's deposits earn interest.
Say that again. You're going to fund it with crypto?
You're going to fund
your checking account.
You're going to fund your checking account with cash.
Okay.
And then when you buy Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum, the money will come straight out of your checking and savings account. So when you're not putting cash to work, it's not sitting in an account that earns no interest, and it's not sitting in an account that's not insured. So the money will sit in an FDIC insured account up to $2 million is what we offer. And when you buy, it will instantly withdraw from that account and send it to the marketplace.
Okay, so you got the gist of what he's talking about there. So basically, you're going to have your checking savings account with SoFi Bank. You'll fund that like you'd fund your checking and savings at any bank. You're going to use cash, and then the money is going to come directly out of your checking, and that's how you're going to purchase your BTC, your Ethereum, or Solana at this point. And again, whatever other assets that they put out there. Now, again, I know a lot of people here are more like, self-custody, not your keys, not your crypto facts. But again, I look at it from a different lens of people who are unfamiliar with crypto, maybe uncomfortable with dealing with crypto. And let's be honest, for a certain age demographic, you are familiar with the banking system. You understand that like your deposits are insured by the FDIC. I'll use my air quotes for that. Anyway, and so on. And you may feel more comfortable with buying your BTC, ETH, or Solana in that type of environment and holding it on there if you are, again, age dependent on the banking system or whatever the case may be. I did like the fact that he pointed out about being insured. I believe he said up to $2 million in the checking account, which is significantly higher than the standard FDIC deposit insurance of $250,000. So I do like that. But beyond that, again, if this is the way to start getting more people to understand Bitcoin, to understand the crypto space, okay, so be it. Let's make it happen. All right, I've got a few more things to go over, and then we're going to be wrapping this thing up. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for keeping the chat alive. Again, if you haven't already done it, you know the drill. Like this thing, share it out. Appreciate all of you for doing that. All right, let's talk about this. Did you guys hear about this? Polymarket and Kalshi prediction data is going to start being in Google search results. So, I mean, we've talked about this. Joe and I have actually talked about this. We've got prediction market launching all the time, partnerships with stuff like crypto.com, with World Liberty Financial, all these kind of things are, and Gemini, I think, was one that we talked about last week as well, where they're trying to integrate these prediction markets into these platforms. Again, like I said last time, I'm not necessarily a fan of having that kind of stuff inside of your cryptocurrency exchange. That to me is gambling. That's not why I go to a cryptocurrency exchange. But again, who the hell am I? So Google said prediction market data from both Polymarket and Kalshi will roll out over the coming weeks, starting with labs users. So their quote here is saying, so you can ask questions about future market events and harness the wisdom of the crowds. Now, I do think there's something there to the wisdom of the crowd kind of mentality, especially as you're getting closer toward whatever the actual event is. But basically, users will be able to access current market probabilities directly from the search box and how they've changed over time. So again, I don't know that I want that integrated into my search data, but to be able to access it from search, maybe as like a one-click kind of option. Okay, whatever. I guess. But let's move on because, you know, we got Ledger. Again, Ledger is probably one of the biggest animals here in the space when it comes to cold storage wallets. If you use a Ledger device, still actively use a Ledger device, put a one in the chat. I'll be interested to see what is up with that. But basically, Ledger is eyeing an IPO. They're looking to do an IPO, and I'm quite frankly shocked that they haven't done this already. It's kind of surprising to me. I would have expected it. Basically, Ledger is planning to do a capital raise next year after basically having record revenues because of the demand for crypto storage devices. The company is considering either the New York listing or a private funding round. And it goes, again, links are in the description for all of this. It kind of goes into it here and breaks it down a little bit. And again, to me, I'm kind of surprised that this is not something that's already taken place. Two more things. McRib is coming, and we're going to close that poll, see what you guys thought. But first off, I try to put out a lot of the security information and any issues with regard to security. And I saw this, and boy, people are all panicking about AI and what's going on. And as these LLMs kind of progress and so on and so forth, look at this. Basically saying that now even malware is using LLMs, so these large language models, to rewrite its code. This is coming from Google, by the way. Because they've spotted this AI rewriting itself to avoid detection. Scary things with AI. Now, listen, I actually, over this past weekend, went through a AI kind of webinar thing to learn more, to help me to utilize AI much more efficiently. And I think it can be a great partner with regard to, especially for somebody, in my opinion, for somebody like me, who is literally a one-man band when it comes to what we're doing here. Yeah, I have great partners who come on and help me out, like T.I. Joe and, Jar and BC Pork Corp and Crypto Bedell. And, that's great. But the back end of things, they're not always helping me out in that back end, setting up streams, doing all the social media to kind of grow and that kind of thing, where AI can partner with me to do that. So those pieces of AI makes a lot of good sense to me. But when I always say, with the good comes the bad, and here is the bad end of that. When you're talking about basically malware rewriting itself to, you can't find me. Woohoo! Anyway, okay, enough of that. Time for the McRib. McRib. All right, let me first off go and end this poll right now and see where we landed. Basically, I asked, does the return of the McRib, McDonald's McRib sandwich, indicate incoming upward price action for BTC? 57% of you said yes. That's interesting. The next highest was, what is the McRib? I think it's hilarious, quite frankly. But did I just mess this up again? I surely did, didn't I? All right, there we go. Sorry, guys. So there you go. Most of you think that the McRib is going to be the upward trajectory, momentum, pump your bags kind of thing that these McDonald's execs are kind of putting out there. So basically, let's go down and read this because I think it's hilarious. The price of Bitcoin rose on Monday, this past Monday, as McDonald's prepared for the McRib's return to the U.S. market, mirroring momentum seen alongside the sandwiches showing last year. For several years now, the sandwich's availability has been informally linked to periods of strength for the digital asset. And man, I'll tell you what, the dynamic was referenced by McDonald's senior marketing director, and I ain't going to try his name, on Monday, stating that, the barbecue flavored fan favorite has recently found new meaning on the internet with the trading and crypto community. Man. Wait, what's that say? 29% of us protested. Yeah, there you go. I love it, Tech Man. It is crazy that that's even a thing. I had heard about it, honestly. I've forgotten about it until I saw this article, and I thought it would be a fun way to kind of wrap things up on this particular stream and give you a little bit of fun smiling and things to think about as you're moving on to the rest of your week. But man, I don't know. I haven't had a McRib in a hot minute. I mean, I'm talking like I can't even remember the last time I had a McRib. I did used to like them. I mean, back a while ago. Now they're probably I can't even imagine what they're doing to make them right now. But anyway, if you like McRibs, let me know. I'm interested to see. But that's what it is. People are kind of over half you thinking Bitcoin are moving on up. Thank you to the McRib. All right, that's going to do it for today. Again, I'm sorry that Joe didn't make it here today, changing the schedule last minute. Let me give you a quick skinny as to what's going on for me for the rest of the week, because there are some changes going on, and I apologize now. The first thing that is definitely going to be of change right now is, and I'm just trying to look to see if there's anybody live to send you to, and I think I'm going to send you to meet Damien because it looks like he's live. So we'll go raid his live stream. I'm trying to set that up in the background right now. So as I'm babbling here, I appreciate your patience while I'm trying to get that redirect set. Almost there, and booyah, there it is. All right, so if you're on YouTube, just sit tight. You got head over to meet Damien from here. But anyway. So Friday night, Crypto on the Rocks, this Friday, we are not going to be live. I have some family obligations coming on Friday that were confirmed last night. So I'm not going to be live this Friday. We've got, so I apologize. We will be live again next Friday. But coming up again, this coming Monday, Joe and I will be live 11 a.m. Eastern time. Bedell, BC Port Corp, and I will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern time this coming Monday. And FYI, I haven't even put it out yet, but coming soon to the Matrix Money podcast Sorry, Hot of the Line podcast. We're going to have Crux of Crypto on December 1st. So stay tuned. Watch for the promotions on that. And then next Tuesday, Jar and I live 6 p.m. Eastern time with Dr. Jay Corzan. Make sure that you're joining in for that. We're going to talk to him about his journey trying to integrate crypto into his business. And then let's see. That following Saturday, Crypto Billy and I live Q&A session for seniors. So make sure you are sharing that out. All right, that's going to do it. Appreciate everybody being here. Thanks everybody for being in the live chat. I appreciate you. And when we get over to Damien's stream, you know the drill. CCM raid in the chat. All right, have a good day, everybody. Thanks for being here, and I will see you soon.